And at this time of year, it's trying to weigh the pluses and minuses that we've been seeing in the environment and gauge which really have kind of a bearing as far as what's going to happen to construction activity over the next year or so. And often in looking at these changes, it's kind of a challenge into determining whether or not they are kind of short-term events or perhaps more of a structural change. You know, the construction industry, for those of you that have attended these sessions in the past, you know, you've heard it emphasized that, yes, it is a cyclical industry. It tends to have recurring patterns. But one of the points that we've been making, I'd say, over the past, let's say, 5 to 10 years, is that those recurring patterns have perhaps been modified a bit. And we've been seeing a more stable construction cycle. I mean, certainly that would bode well, given some of the, I guess, alarming news that we've been seeing over the past few months. Because I think anybody dealing with the home building sector has been very concerned about the extent of the decline that we've been seeing in activity really over the past 2 quarters. So, you know, as I try to gauge, you know, in terms of what's going on for the upcoming year, it's kind of like, well, the more things change, does it mean kind of a structural shift? Or perhaps the more things change, the more they remain the same. And I think there are elements of both in terms of the environment, and we'll be coming back to that at the close of the presentation. Basically, the way I'm going to be proceeding is, as I've done in the past, is essentially looking at the broad industry indicators and sectors. And actually, I think the sector chart is perhaps very telling this year in terms of getting a sense of the dynamic of how these different sectors behave. Take some points about the economic environment, which will kind of revisit some of the information that David Weiss presented earlier in the day, and then look at the major sectors: single-family housing, income properties, which we define as commercial building plus multifamily housing, the institutional building sector plus manufacturing, public works and electric utilities, how it all adds up for total construction, and then some final points of perspective, as we've done in the past.